Live from the Al Roker Television Studio, this is WTOP 10 News at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alan Wenger.
And I'm Christy Summers. Tonight's top story, a car stopped at a green light with an unconscious driver caught the attention of a Syracuse police officer Saturday. The man at the wheel, Rafael Santana Perez, turned out to be a burglar who had stolen electronic equipment from a Seneca Street home 20 minutes earlier.
Now, the owners of the home awoke to find a man with a knife in their house around 6:15 yesterday morning. Police were called and Santana Perez was found stopped at a green light unconscious. He was arrested and charged with first-degree robbery and burglary, third-degree criminal possession of a weapon, and second-degree menacing. And coming up, 2 medevac helicopters were called into service yesterday afternoon after a head-on crash in Lewis County.
And a roaming fire in Syracuse started from a welding accident this Sunday evening. We will have more on these stories in just a minute, but first a quick check of your weather outside with meteorologist Michael Panny.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. And stepping outside tonight, well, we have clear and pleasant conditions outside tonight. And, well, not to be confused with the action thriller Clear and Present Danger, starring Harrison Ford, but nonetheless, beautiful conditions out tonight. And looking at our current conditions, temperatures currently in the high 30s. It's not going to drop off too much tonight, but as we head into tomorrow, well, I think we have a major warm-up in store. And I'll have more on that with the complete Storm Team 10 5-day forecast. But for right now, I'll send it back inside to the news desk. Guys, take it away.
2 medevac helicopters were called into service Saturday afternoon after a head-on crash in Lewis County. Sheriff's deputies say it happened about 1 o'clock in the town of Harrisburg, on State Route 12. Deputies say 40-year-old Deborah Aguirre from Watertown swerved into the oncoming lane and hit 39-year-old Renee Beyer from Lowville. Officials say both drivers sustained serious injuries, and the investigation into the crash is still ongoing.
A roaming fire in Syracuse started from a welding accident this Sunday evening. The flames from 616 Hawley Avenue reached 10 to 20 feet high before firefighters could contain the blaze. Resident Henry Green tried to put out the fire, but it spread too quickly. The Greens were able to evacuate with their 2 dogs, and fortunately, 2 other adults and a child who live at the residence were at the movies when the fire started.
Central or northern New York could become the site of a $3.6 billion development that would house an array of anti-missile inceptors. If the Pentagon approves the plan, this would mean that the nation's only missile defense site on the East Coast would be located in the chosen community. An environmental impact study will be conducted later this year to determine where best to put the site. U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel said that the defense site will leave a positive impact, with countries such as North Korea growing stronger in nuclear weapon capabilities.
A skateboarder from Utica was hit by a car this past Saturday night at 11 p.m. Police said it happened on Burstone Road in front of Faxon Hospital. His condition is not known at this time. However, the skateboarder was airlifted to a Syracuse hospital with serious injuries. The cause of the accident is still under investigation.
The Onondaga Lake is facing some controversy this weekend.
Sebastian Edmond is live with more on a court case that could change the Onondaga community.
The lakes of New York State, a beautiful sight when clean, but when dirty and polluted, can be a serious health hazard to both wildlife and people. Concern has recently arisen when the process of dredging has been started in Lake Onondaga this past Wednesday. The waste has been transported from the lake to a waste facility near Camillus, New York. This has caused the Camillus Clean Air Coalition to decide to file an emergency injunction to get this process stopped. Dredging is the process where the wastes from a lake are transported to a different facility, and the concern of the coalition is that the waste being handled near the neighborhood is a health concern to the citizens. The New York State DEC has looked into this issue and has decided that there is no concern right now because no chemicals have been found, but they will continue to look into the case, and we will also have to wait and see if the injunction gets passed and this process gets stopped. Only time will tell. I'm Sebastian Edmond, WTOP 10 News.
A remembrance mass was held today in Utica for Officer Tom Lindsay. Lindsay was a Utica police officer who was shot and killed during a traffic stop 6 years ago today. Lindsay was a 6-year veteran of the Utica police force, at the time of his death. His killer, Welcy Molina Sereno, has been sentenced to life in prison. His family has held a remembrance ceremony every year on the anniversary of his death.
Alfonso Davis of Syracuse has announced his run for mayor. As a Democrat, Davis announced Saturday that he's mounting a primary challenge against current mayor Stephanie Miner. He said he's running again because he believes the city is headed in the wrong direction and needs a new approach. So far, no Republicans have thrown their hat into the race.
Like my mother always told me, nothing says Happy Monday without a book sale being held in the basement of a library. While what I just said was a complete lie, Penfield Library will be holding a sale in its basement tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. All sorts of items will be up for sale, including books, records, DVDs, CDs, and magazines.
The See Something, Say Something campaign is coming to campus. The discussion will be hosted by Dr. Nalika Jayawardene of SUNY Oswego's English Department with Dr. Craig Warkanik of the Political Science Department. This will be a part of SUNY Oswego's Institute of Global Engagement's discussion series, themed War in a Global and Historical Perspective. It will be held on Tuesday, April 16th from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., located in the Campus Center, room 114.
Coming up after the break, a man has been released from prison after 38 years.
And stay tuned for a full look at your weather report with Michael Panny. We'll be right back.
Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Last night, Lori Capricuzzi scored 2 goals on Aliyah Brian Love.
Joe, get out. Adam, you're in.
Lori Korpakovsky scored 2 goals on Ilya Brizgalov. Got it!
Welcome back. Michael Panny, so I have heard a lot about this new sunny weather coming up. I've been checking my Instagram feed, all sunsets from SUNY Oswego. What's it looking like for the next week?
Well, I say we had a great sunset this evening, and I think it's going to stick around for a while. We actually captured one of those ourselves from atop Skycam 10 from Fennell Hall. You can see, again, a beautiful sunset this evening. It's picture taken about a couple hours ago. And looking west over Lake Ontario, again, just a beautiful sunset as we close out our weekend. Right now, our TOP top weather headlines, well, I am issuing a great day advisory for tomorrow. This is in effect from sunup to sundown, and really it's calling for people to get outside and enjoy that beautiful weather that we're going to be seeing as we head into what's going to be a very mild week. With those mild temperatures, though, a few showers on and off. That old adage, April showers bring May flowers. Well, that's going to hold true at least for this week. For tonight, though, before we get to those mild temperatures, we have to get through this evening. Partly cloudy and cool. Temperatures dipping down a little bit more, 36 degrees, so not terrible as we head out tomorrow morning. But might want to grab a jacket, at least in the beginning of the day. Regional radar, well, high and dry through most of central New York and the northeast, really. But as we look at the big map, our national radar, well, it's pretty active. This is a pretty impressive snowstorm, especially for mid-April, and that's going to give us a few showers as it heads off to our north tomorrow evening. This system to our south is actually going to stay to our south and just head off coast as high pressure really is dominating our weather pattern today and will continue for tomorrow. So for our Monday, again, high pressure wrapping in that clockwise flow and wrapping in warm air from the south. And as a result, we're going to see temperatures really in the high 60s to possibly the lower 70s, especially as we get away from Lake Ontario and that cool water. So as I plan out tomorrow for you, 8 a.m. if you're heading out the door to school or to work or just heading out for your morning run, well, high and dry through all of central New York. And the same can be said for 12 p.m. for our lunchtime hour. Our drive home, 5 p.m. still sitting pretty. A great day, A+ day, so get out and enjoy it if you have the chance. Again, for tomorrow, mostly sunny and mild, breezy too, 67 degrees. Again, a beautiful day. Get out if you have a chance. If you take a closer look, so if you have a chance tomorrow to get outside, you're going to experience some cool temperatures, at least to start out. But as we head towards lunchtime, well, that sunshine is really going to be beating down on us as we get close to 60 rather. I wish it was 70, 60 degrees, 57 at noon. So if you get outside, definitely going to want to ditch that jacket, and 65 for an evening commute. Clouds build a little bit as that storm system begins to move through the area. Our Storm Team 10 5-day forecast, well, tomorrow, Monday, is our pick day of the week. 67 degrees. Beautiful. A few showers for Tuesday, but that clears out come Wednesday as temperatures cool down a bit into the upper 50s. By the end of the week, will temperatures rebound again into the 70s, but don't be too surprised if you see a few showers, even a rumble of thunder as we head towards the weekend as another system pushes through. So that's your Storm Team 10 full forecast. Now back to the news desk.
All right, thank you, Mike. Turning to state news now, workers arrived in New York by the dozens to help clean up after Superstorm Sandy devastated the region last fall. They say they haven't been paid now for their labor in weeks, so their work has stopped. Workers were promised good pay when they came to help clean up, and now they're losing their homes. The problem is the original contract for the cleanup was subcontracted out to several companies. The latest subcontractor disappeared. But there's good news. The first contractor has stepped up and offered to pay the workers.
Senator Chuck Schumer says there's new legislation that will put New Yorkers at risk. The Senate is considering a proposal that would override some restrictions on carrying concealed weapons. People with those permits would be able to carry their gun to states other than their own. New York State has some of the toughest background checks for people wanting to carry concealed weapons.
A New York man incarcerated for almost 4 decades for a murder he says he didn't commit suddenly finds himself a free man.
A New Jersey advocacy group worked for years to help clear David Bryant's name. Steve Langford reports that work finally paid off.
First great bite of a chicken salad.
A taste of freedom for a man who's been locked up since Gerald Ford was president for the rape and murder of 8-year-old Karen Smith in this Bronx apartment building back in 1975.
You spend day in and day out for 38 years saying to yourself, if, not when, if I'm ever released, what do I do?
A bewildered David Bryant released Thursday by a Bronx judge ruling the man's defense attorney back in the 70s did such a bad job, Bryant didn't get a fair trial.
When they bury me, they better take this sweatshirt and these shirts with me because this is the moment that you live for.
Bryant's release, the result of years of legal work by Centurion Ministries in Princeton, New Jersey, which will assist his transition to freedom here.
We're fierce protectors of them and their welfare.
After Bryant was arrested as an 18-year-old and then convicted, his family, even his parents, he says, had doubts about his innocence.
I want to really just sit down in some church somewhere and say to my Father, this is something I didn't do.
In his first 24 hours of freedom, David Bryant is confronting a whole new world that didn't exist when he first went to prison in the 70s. Take the iPhone.
You could see this kind of stuff today, and you know what you remember? You remember picking up a telephone, going...
Bryant's release does not mean he's been cleared, but he is adamant about his innocence.
This is something that I know I never did do. I never did do.
Hundreds gathered at the Michigan State Capitol on Saturday to voice their support for both sides of the gun control debate. The group Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America organized a rally in favor of tougher gun laws. They're calling on lawmakers to ban assault weapons and require universal background checks. Counter-protesters were also on hand showing support for Second Amendment rights.
Disgraced former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. made a rare public appearance Saturday, his first since he was resigned from office. Jackson appeared briefly at an event for his father's Rainbow Push Coalition, a well-known civil rights group. He did not speak, but his attorney called on the audience to contact the judge in Jackson's corruption case and plead for leniency. Jackson pleaded guilty to misusing campaign funds in a deal with prosecutors and is now awaiting sentencing. He was re-elected in November, but stepping down from his congressional seat. Jackson was away from Washington much of last year for what his family says were health reasons.
And coming up after the break, we'll have an in-depth look at the Masters with Justin Cirillo.
And later, one man owns an iPod worth so much your bank account won't believe it. But first, here's a look at your late night menu.
We are the Tigers from Pet 885. And you are watching WTOP. Yeah.
Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with fflexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
The Biology Club brought the science to Oswego and put a fun spin on it.
The Primate Sanctuary invaded the Campus Center arena. We'll toss it over to Alicia, who has more.
Thanks, guys. The Campus Center was packed with students waiting to see the little cute monkeys that have been rescued by Carmen Presti and his crew. Here's a look at the primate presentation. Carmen Presti, owner of the Primate Sanctuary in Niagara Falls, visited SUNY Oswego on Friday, giving a presentation with the help of some furry friends. This is Sarah, a 10-year-old black and white capuchin.
And what's in the but can you say goodbye to Sarah? If you just want, you could eat those mushrooms are good.
Presti presented 5 primates, giving some background on each and showing us some neat tricks. Next up, Emily, who is one smart monkey.
It's because of the noise she makes. It sounds like she's crying. She'll go. Piece of the licorice, which is a special treat for her. And she has 2 handfuls. That means 1 in monkey language. 2 handfuls, grab as much as you can possibly do.
And last but not least, Maya, who was the comedian of them all.
Wait, hello girl. Come here, come here. Now, you ready? Can you clap? Okay. Sure. Let's see if she'll give me a high five. Ooh. No. Give me a high five. Give me a high five first, and maybe they'll clap. Ready? High five. Oh, that's a high five. In order to slap, you gotta hit her first.
little monkeys were rescued by Presti, and we thank them for the wonderful visit. Yeah, guys, those monkeys were so adorable, and actually, someone got proposed to.
That is absolutely adorable. It really is.
Fun fact, I am an RA in Cuba Hall, and the girl that got engaged is actually one of my residents. So she was very happy.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, the monkey was the little helper, so it was so adorable.
I think it. Oh, excuse me.
Go ahead.
I think it's great because it's just, you know, a lot of college kids, you know, they want some animal therapy. So that's why it must have had such a great turnout. You know, you can't help but love the cute animals. Yeah, exactly.
Why
exactly.
not?
Absolutely. Thanks, Alicia. And now we'll have a full look at sports with Justin Cirillo.
Thanks, guys. Sunday afternoon in Augusta, Georgia, went deep into the evening for the second year in a row. Through the raindrops, 5 golfers remained in contention through the final 9 holes of the Masters tournament. However, it was Angel Cabrera, the Argentine, and Adam Scott, the Aussie, battling each other into a playoff. After Scott birdied 18, Cabrera responded with a beautiful approach shot to set up a birdie of his own to force a playoff. Both players were part of the first playoff hole, but on hole number 10, this second playoff hole, this putt gives Adam Scott and Australia their first Masters championship. Pure emotion from Scott, who birdies the hole after Cabrera missed a birdie putt of his own by mere millimeters. The green jacket pass from Bubba Watson to Adam Scott, who earns his first major victory. Turning to local stories, the Oswego State Lakers put on a masterful performance on the baseball diamond earlier today. Setting the tone early, Oswego opened up today's doubleheader against Oneonta with an 8-run outburst in the first inning, heavily aided by 3 errors by the Red Dragons. James McKenna pitched 5 solid innings for the Lakers, giving up only 1 run on 5 hits, and earning the victory as the Lakers cruised to a 13-1 win. The second game, like the Masters, went beyond regulation. After the Red Dragons tied the game at 5 on an 8th inning error by Mike Stark, the teams were scoreless until the 13th inning. But Stark redeemed himself, and John Ralseo's aggressive base running served as the catalyst. With 2 outs in the 13th, Ralseo stole second, setting the stage for Stark to send everyone home with a game-winning single to left field, giving Oswego a 6-5 victory. Oswego improves to 13-10 overall, 6-4 in the SUNYAC, and they sit in 3rd place in the conference. That's it for sports. Now back over to the news desk.
Coming up after the break, Justin Bieber making fun of Anne Frank? We'll have more in just a minute.
But first, take a look at your community calendar.
Oswego MBA program helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
There's backlash over what Justin Bieber had to say about a historical figure, and Hugh Jackman faces a stalker.
Carla Zeus has more in Hollywood Minute.
Bieber is facing controversy after a visit to the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam. According to the museum's Facebook page, Bieber left this message in the guest book. Truly inspiring to be able to come here. Anne was a great girl. Hopefully she would have been a belieber. That's what they call fans who are obsessed with the singer. Critics on the Anne Frank Facebook page called Bieber way too full of himself. One said he completely missed the lessons of Anne Frank's story. Hugh Jackman's workout at a Manhattan gym got unexpectedly intense Saturday. Police say a 47-year-old woman chased the actor with an electric razor. A trainer says she entered the gym crying and walked straight past the check-in desk and toward Jackman. Jackman asked her not to touch him. She left when security arrived but was later arrested and charged with stalking. Moviegoers went out to the ball game during the weekend. 42, which tells the life story of Jackie Robinson, topped the box office, scoring nearly $27.3 million in its opening weekend. Scary Movie 5, featuring Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan, grossed nearly $15.2 million in its debut week in theaters. And the animated feature The Croods rounded out the top 3, picking up another $13.2 million in its 4th weekend in theaters. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Carl Azus.
Now, here's something you don't see every day. A huge gorilla running in terror from a goose. This video was captured by zookeepers at the Sedgwick County Zoo in Kansas. Apparently, some Canadian geese ended up in the ape's enclosure and decided they didn't want the lumbering primate running around. It's a good thing the foul gorilla didn't want to pick a fight.
A head-on collision with an iPad. A Georgia woman says she saw something, flying at her car, but didn't realize what it was until later, when her dad asked her why she had an iPad stuck to her front bumper. The amazing thing is, the tablet still worked, at least well enough for an app to flash the owner's name and phone number on the screen. They used that info to get back to the owner. He says he left the device on top of his car and drove off.
A Hong Kong businesswoman may own the world's most expensive smartphone. The Black Diamond iPhone 5 is a diamond and gold encrusted handset that includes a hidden 26-carat black diamond. The London jeweler commissioned to make the phone estimates its value at $15 million. It includes 600 flawless white diamonds, solid gold dressing, and an Apple logo made up of 53 diamonds. The home button on the front is made of black diamond, an incredibly rare gem that had been in the phone owner's family for generations.
Here's something you don't see every day. It's a woodchuck eating ice cream. We're told the little critter is kept as a pet, and its owner gave him an ice cream cone for his birthday. While woodchucks aren't typically considered adorable, this little guy just might change your mind. His owner gave him a mini ice cream cone for his birthday. And before we say goodnight, here's one look at your forecast with meteorologist Michael Panny.
All right, thanks, Christy. And well, starting out tomorrow, a bit cool, 42 degrees for 8 a.m. classes, but temperatures recovering nicely as we reach up into the mid-60s, possibly 70, especially away from the lake. So I definitely encourage everybody to get outside and enjoy really a beautiful day.
Absolutely. I am so excited just to at least break out the shorts. You know, I've seen people try to do it, and I haven't committed to it yet, but I see it happening in the near future.
I think tomorrow's the day.
I'm also excited to see more Instagram photos of sunsets.
Yeah.
Because
They're
here at
everywhere.
Oswego, you really can't get enough of those.
No, you can't.
Good weather for baseball or golf.
That's very true.
Can Jam.
Absolutely. Oh,
And
Can
Can Jam.
Jam's
Any
really
sport's
big.
good.
It's
Played
really
basketball
big.
earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great
right
day
behind
for it.
Oneida Hall, right? Yeah.
And
a lot
tomorrow
of people do that.
will probably be a good day for the book sale being held in Penfield.
Yeah.
I have never been in the Penfield basement.
No,
and
neither have I.
I don't have a bucket list for things I
Okay.
still have yet to do here in Oswego, but if I did,
That would be
going to
on
the
it.
Penfield basement would be on it.
Yeah, I think you can take that book, you can go outside a nice day and
All the
read
picnic
it.
tables are set up, aren't they not?
Maybe a groundhog with an ice cream cone, we'll come and join you.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow is a day of possibilities, and that is what is going to make it
Endless
a great day.
possibilities. Endless.
Well, Monday's going to be great.
Yes, it will be. And that will do it for us here. For the entire 10 News team, I'm Alan Wenger.
And I'm Chrissy Summers. Stay tuned for the rundown. Good night, Oswego.